स्टार्टिंग से आई थॉट कि अच्छा नहीं होगा।
How much an SD1 engineer at Hotstar can approximately make? In this podcast, we are talking with Priyam, who worked at Disney Plus Hotstar and now works at Google. In this episode, we talk what it takes for a college student to get into such big companies. We talked about how a typical day looks like for a college fresher in such big companies. So let's get started. हेलो तो आज है हमारे साथ प्रियम। हे प्रियम, क्या हाल चाल?
है अंकित, बढ़िया, काफी दिनों बाद मिल रहे हैं हम। साथ में रहा करते थे कुछ दिन तक।
साथ में भी काम करते थे, राइट। सो जो लोग नहीं जानते हैं, प्रियम और मैं साथ में हॉटस्टार में काम करते थे। अभी प्रियम ने शिफ्ट कर लिया गूगल में, तो ही इज इन गूगल नाउ। ओके,
Yes,
तो प्रियम, लेट्स स्टार्ट द पॉडकास्ट विद योर इंट्रोडक्शन।
definitely. So hello guys, I'm Priyam. I did my graduation from Jadavpur University. It's a college in Kolkata, and I graduated in the year of 2023. Then during the college, I interned at two places. One was at Disney Plus Hotstar, and the other was at ShareChat. So I had offers from both of them for the full time offer. So I decided to join Hotstar, and therein I met Ankit. He was my mentor there. Then after 1.4 or 1.5 years of experience at Hotstar, I decided to switch and join Google 2 months back.
ओके, तो जादवपुर यूनिवर्सिटी में यू आर इन कंप्यूटर इंजीनियरिंग।
So in Jadavpur, there are two branches. So one is computer engineering and another is information technology. Both of them are very similar. I still don't know the difference between the two, even after getting graduated from there. But I was in IT branch because of my rank. So I tried for CS, but I could not get it. So I got admitted in IT.
Okay, so and from Jadavpur University, you went to ShareChat as an intern.
First, I interned at Disney Hotstar. It was a summer internship for 2 months because Disney Hotstar visited our campus. So after getting a PPO from Hotstar, I was sitting doing nothing. So I thought of applying there, and I got an opportunity to work at ShareChat as an intern. Because I remember there was a little bit of unclarity about the joining date of Hotstar as a full-time employee, which is why I decided to let me work somewhere else for the time being, and then I turned at ShareChat there.
So
For 2 months, yeah.
internship at Hotstar, it's a big thing for a college student, right? So how did you got that?
Okay, so I remember. So the Hotstar company visited us in the internship season. So Hotstar was the second company to come to our campus. So I will tell you a story. So we all were sitting like that was a COVID time, so everything was happening virtually. So I just completed my second year that time, and there was a summer break between the second and the third year. So I was preparing for Amazon online assessment because so the first company that we visited was Code Nation, and nobody was selected in that. Second company that was Amazon, but just a day before Amazon OA, we were informed that कि Hotstar आ रही है और Hotstar का OA अगले दिन ही है। तो प्रिपेयर नहीं किए थे, तो आई वाज लाइक ओके, इट्स जस्ट अ मैटर ऑफ लक, होगा होगा नहीं होगा नहीं होगा, बिकॉज ऐसा कुछ पहले से था नहीं कि हॉस्टल में जाना है। ऑल ऑफ अ सडन पता चला कि फर्स्ट टाइम हॉस्टल इज विजिटिंग आवर कैंपस फॉर इंटर्नशिप। फिर नेक्स्ट डे हॉस्टल आई, ओए हुआ, जिसमें आई थिंक 2 डीएसए के प्रॉब्लम्स थे और कुछ एमसीक्यू थे, कंप्यूटर फंडामेंटल्स। तो फॉर्चुनेट है ना, डीएसए का एक क्वेश्चन थोड़ा हार्ड था, जिसकी वजह से सारे नहीं बना पाए थे। अदरवाइज क्या होता है, सारे लोग सारा बना लेते हैं, फिर समझ नहीं आता कि बाय विच लॉजिक पीपल आर गेटिंग सेलेक्टेड फॉर इंटरव्यू। बट इन हॉस्टल वन क्वेश्चन वाज क्वाइट टफ, so there were only 5 to 6 people who were able to solve that. And then आज रात तो ये हुआ, अगले दिन इंटरव्यूज।
Interview which rounds, मतलब?
Okay, so first round was DSA round. He asked me 2 DSA medium level question.
You remember the interviewer?
No, I actually don't. I tried to remember the name of the interviewer so that I could message him while I was interning there, but I could not actually.
Okay.
तो मेरे को ये याद है, so जब मैं ज्वाइन किया था तो उन्होंने देखा कि अच्छा भाई इसने लीड कोड क्वेश्चन किया है, उसने बोला तुमने कितने क्वेश्चन किए हैं? तो पहले क्या बोलूं, सच बोलूं झूठ बोलूं, तो मैंने बोल दिया।
Literally no.
मैंने बोल दिया कि मैंने बोला 1200 क्वेश्चन। तो ही वाज लाइक अरे भाई इतना तो मैंने भी नहीं किया अभी तक, तुम अभी ऐसा कर लिया। तो मैं बोला हाँ ऐसा वैसा। फिर वो बोलते कि तुमको क्या चाहिए, लीड कोड 2 मीडियम क्वेश्चन चाहिए या एक हार्ड क्वेश्चन चाहिए? तो मैंने, अब वहां पे भी मैं कंफ्यूज क्या बोलूं, फिर मैंने बोल दिया आपको जो चाहिए आपको जो देना आप दे दो। तो आई रिमेम्बर 2 लीड कोड मीडियम क्वेश्चन पूछा उन्होंने। एक था नॉर्मल 2 पॉइंटर स्ट्रिंग मैच, सिंपल क्वेश्चन था, एनाग्राम है कि नहीं कोई सब स्ट्रिंग। इट वाज अ सिंपल लीड कोड, कॉमन लीड कोड मीडियम प्रॉब्लम। Another one was a pretty bad question, I would say, because the number of dislikes on that question were more than the likes. So he helped me, तभी जाके मैंने क्वेश्चन सॉल्व किया। तो it was of 2 DSA problem, 2 medium level DSA problem. उसके बाद राउंड 2 हुआ। राउंड 2 में he asked me this problem, count number of inversion in an array. So it is a lead code hard question, but a quite popular question. So everybody who has done lead code knows about that.
Right.
I had solved that question before, but it was not that I remember that properly, but I was able to solve that in the second round of DSA. उसके बाद he also asked me one simple, I think, left view or right view of a binary tree kind of question. So only 10 minutes were left for this question. So उन्होंने बोला कि 10 मिनट में कर पाओगे? तो I said yes. उसके बाद मैंने कर लिया। तो 2 DSA प्रॉब्लम्स हुए, 2 DSA राउंड्स हुए इंटर्न में। उसके बाद थर्ड हुआ था HR राउंड। सो इट वाज वेरी इनफॉर्मल काइंड ऑफ कन्वर्सेशन। देन हुआ उसके बाद भाई हम लोग वेट कर रहे हैं 2-3 घंटे से, रिजल्ट कब आएगा। कल अमेजन का भी टेस्ट है। तो बट फॉर्चुनेटली फिर रिजल्ट आया। उसमें मैं और मेरा 2 लोग सेलेक्ट हुए। टोटल आई थिंक 8 पीपल इंटरव्यू दिए थे।
ओके। तो हॉटस्टार इंटर्न प्रोग्राम के लिए क्या अभी भी कैंपस में जाता है या फिर लिंक्डइन पे ही अप्लाई करना होता है? क्या सीन है अभी?
हाँ, तो फॉर डिज्नी हॉटस्टार इंटर्नशिप वो कैंपस ही विजिट करता है। और ऑफ कैंपस का कोई सीन नहीं था इंटर्न का, जब तक मैं था, जहाँ तक मुझे मालूम है। वो कैंपस के थ्रू ही होता है, क्योंकि अभी भी जो हमारे टीम में इंटर्न आए थे इससे पहले, वो भी कैंपस सिलेक्शन से ही थे।
नाइस।
सो आई बिलीव कैंपस होता है।
ओके, तो वुड यू सजेस्ट कि अगर हॉटस्टार में इंटर्नशिप लेनी है तो मतलब लीड कोड और डीएसए स्ट्रांग होना चाहिए ऐसा?
Yes, because I don't think there was any round compromising of development skills. I do believe they focus strongly on DSA skills.
तो हॉटस्टार के इंटर्नशिप प्रोग्राम के लिए जब आपने अप्लाई किया था तो उसमें क्या स्पेसिफिक किसी रोल के लिए किया था या फिर वो रोल बाद में बताया था आपको?
वो बाद में बताया था। तो सारे कॉलेज में हॉस्टल विजिट किया, उसमें से हमारा भी एक कॉलेज था। आई थिंक टॉप NITs IITs जादवपुर और 1-2 कोई बिट्स में गया था। तो फिर उन्होंने ऐसा जेनरिक HD इंटर्न लिया। फिर बाद में हमको टीम असाइन हुआ जब हम ज्वाइन किए। तो किसी को बैकएंड मिला, किसी को एंड्रॉइड मिला। आई थिंक वो आपका CV मांगते हैं उस बेसिस पे। इफ दे सी दैट यू हैव डन सम वर्क इन एंड्रॉइड पार्ट, दे विल असाइन यू एन एंड्रॉइड टीम, समथिंग लाइक दिस।
और ये कौन से ईयर की बात है? मतलब कौन से ईयर में थे आप कंप्यूटर इंजीनियरिंग में उस टाइम पे, आईटी में? सॉरी,
2019 में मैं फर्स्ट ईयर में था। 2020 में मैं सेकेंड ईयर में था। तो आई थिंक 2020 में मेरा इंटर्न लगा था, बट नहीं, 2021 में इंटर्न लगा था। बट 2022 में मैंने एक साल पहले इंटर्नशिप लग जाता है कैंपस में। फिर आपको पता है कि आप नेक्स्ट ईयर करोगे। तो 2021 में मेरा इंटर्नशिप ऑफर आया। 2022 में मैंने इंटर्न किया।
नाइस। ओके, एंड हाउ वाज द एक्सपीरियंस?
Yeah, it was very good. So I interned in a kind of productivity team, the team that built tools for internal members. So it was an Android project. So it was kind of automating the bug reporting process kind of thing. It was mostly Android development, and I had some experience of Android. So pretty fine, very interesting. Then उसके बाद क्या हुआ? So it was also remote, but in the last week all the interns visited Bangalore office. They had to give the presentation in front of all the VPs and all. So we also had a good party over there for specifically for interns. So it was very good get together as well.
Nice. So फिर after Hotstar in next year you joined ShareChat as an intern. तो
yes.
क्या as a Android developer या फिर backend या फिर क्या?
हाँ, तो ShareChat में भी मैंने अप्लाई किया था। वो 6 मंथ इंटर्नशिप था, वो ऑफ कैंपस था। तो वो मैंने ऐसे लिंक्डइन पे अप्लाई किया, एंड इवेंचुअली आई गॉट अ कॉल फ्रॉम HR एंड इंटरव्यूज हुए। वो भी DSA राउंड था पूरा, नो डेवलपमेंट क्वेश्चन एट ऑल। तो वहाँ पे 6 मंथ के लिए था। वहाँ पे आई वर्कड इन द बैक एंड टीम। आई वर्कड ऑन टेक स्टैक सच एज Node.js एंड Java। तो वहाँ पे मैंने बैक एंड डेवलपर इंटर्न किया था।
नाइस।
मैंने वहाँ ज्वाइन इसलिए किया था क्योंकि हॉस्टल का ज्वाइनिंग डेट नहीं पता चल रहा था कि कब हुआ। फिर जैसे ही 2 महीने हुए ShareChat में, वी गॉट अ मेल कि हॉस्टल ज्वाइनिंग होने वाला है। तो फिर आई रिजाइन देयर।
नाइस।
वैसा।
तो मतलब तुम्हारे इंटर्न एक्सपीरियंस से पता चल रहा है कि यू वर बोथ इन फ्रंट एंड बैक एंड। तो मतलब एक कॉलेज स्टूडेंट के लिए इतनी एक्सपर्टीज लेना, मतलब व्हाट वाज योर स्पेशलिटी, हाउ डिड यू गेट इनटू इट?
Mm, so what I believe is definitely was not the master of front end or back end, although I had little bit of experience of doing college projects. But what I believe is if you want to be an expert, it will take some time. It's not that you will be an expert of a particular tech in the college itself. But you can try gaining experience in different fields and see where your interest lies in. But to be honest, I feel I gave most of my time in DSA, and you build this problem solving skill in yourself. It won't take such a long time for you. So if you're expert in C++, for example, I don't think it will take a lot of time for me to know everything, to gain some working knowledge of Kotlin or something. So if you're expert in one language, for sake, you will eventually in another also, if and when required. So I
हाँ,
was
मतलब
not.
बहुत सारी चीज तो कॉमन ही रहते हैं, राइट? उसमें कि लॉजिक एंड ऑल, इट्स ऑल अबाउट स्ट्रक्चरिंग, राइट?
हाँ, right. It's
पर
it's to think logically कि क्या करना है. You can do in any language.
तो लाइक यू जॉइंड योर यूनिवर्सिटी, तो उसके बाद मतलब हाउ डिड यू थॉट कि मेरे को अभी डीएसए करना है, फिर एंड्रॉइड, फिर बैकएंड, मतलब ये सब सीखा कैसे आपने?
तो जब मैंने फर्स्ट ईयर में ज्वाइन किया तो एक बुक आती थी लेटर सी करके, तो मुझे ऐसा यूट्यूब वगैरह वीडियो देखा, उस समय मुझे नहीं पता था स्ट्राइवर के बारे में या फिर
यशवंत कनितकर की लेटर सी।
हाँ, तो उनका मैंने बुक पढ़ना स्टार्ट किया था फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर में ही। फिर जब मेरे दोस्त बने कॉलेज में तो मैंने पढ़ाई लिखाई छोड़ दिया, क्योंकि फर्स्ट ईयर था, इंजीनियर बोलते थे भाई अभी क्यों पढ़ रहे हैं, सेकेंड ईयर से पढ़। फिर फॉर्चुनेटली कोविड आ गया फॉर माय करियर, फॉर्चुनेटली कोविड आ गया। तो जब मैं घर गया तो आई हैड नथिंग टू डू। तो जैसे कि हम जेई टाइम अपना पूरा टाइम पढ़ाई पे देते थे, फिर थोड़ा मोड़ा खाना पीना खा लेते थे, उस टाइप से मैंने डीएसए करना स्टार्ट किया, क्योंकि इतना पता चल गया था कि भाई डीएसए इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो मैंने डीएसए किया। फिर जाके इंटर्न सीजन से पहले समझ आया कि भाई कुछ कुछ प्रोजेक्ट्स भी होने चाहिए सीवी में, क्योंकि सीवी में लिखेंगे क्या कि भाई मैंने डीपी किया है, ग्राफ किया है, ऐसा तो नहीं लिख सकते। डीएसए बस 2 पॉइंट में हो जाएगा कि सॉल्व इतना क्वेश्चन, इतना रेटेड। तो फिर मैंने थोड़ा सा एंड्रॉयड डेवलपमेंट ही किया। उस समय मुझे पता नहीं था फ्रैंकली कि बैकएंड अलग होता है, एंड्रॉयड अलग होता है। मुझे बस एंड्रॉयड गेम्स वगैरह में इंटरेस्ट था, तो मैं एंड्रॉयड डेवलपमेंट स्टार्ट किया। से लकीली फिर हॉस्टा में मुझे एंड्रॉयड में इंटर्न मिल गया, तो वहाँ आई गेन एंड्रॉयड डेवलपमेंट स्किल्स। बैकएंड मैंने ऐसा कोई कॉलेज में किया नहीं, मैंने डायरेक्ट शेयरचैट में टाइम बैकएंड पे काम किया था।
नाइस।
तो अलग से मैंने कुछ किया नहीं था उसके लिए फ्रैंकली।
तो मतलब बैकएंड की जो आपकी स्किल्स हैं वो शेयरचैट में डेवलप हुई है ऐसे? ओके, नाइस यार।
हाँ, शेयरचैट में सीखने को मिला, फिर इवेंचुअली हुआ वो, क्योंकि हॉस्टल में भी बैकएंड पे थोड़ा काम मिला था मेरे को, तो इवेंचुअली टाइम टू टाइम हुआ। मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं बहुत स्किलफुल हूँ उसमें अभी भी, टू बी वेरी फ्रैंक, बट आई बिलीव
विद टाइम यू विल ग्रो। तो जैसे आपने बताया कि हॉटस्टार में यू जॉइंड एज एंड्रॉइड इंजीनियर, एंड वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट सीवी आल्सो, राइट? तो सीवी में आपने ऐसे क्या प्रोजेक्ट्स डाले, क्या क्या बनाया, कौन से टेक्नोलॉजी भी बनाया, थोड़ा उसके बारे में बताइए।
ओके, तो और जब तक हॉटस्टार इंटर्न नहीं हुआ था, जब पहली बार मैं इंटर्नशिप के लिए अप्लाई किया था, फिर जो सीवी दिया था, तो उसमें मेरे पास 2-3 प्रोजेक्ट्स थे, मैं आपको बता सकता हूँ। एक था डिजिट पैड बोल के, इट इज अ वेरी सिंपल प्रोजेक्ट, सो आई हैड सम इंटरेस्ट इन एमएल आल्सो, so I got to know कि we have some TensorFlow kind of thing that we can integrate in Android, and it is very easy to integrate ML with Android app. So उसमें क्या होता, if you go and draw something like 8, if you draw 8 over a board, so it will predict what digit you are drawing. So it's just about predicting whatever is the image to the text kind of thing. So the image to digit. So it is a popular model also there. So I use that to develop that app. Another app was AgriCare app. So I think that was the app that actually was intended to solve a problem, but although it could not. So it was a group kind of project. तो उसमें क्या होता था कि एक फार्मर है, ठीक है, उसको समझ नहीं आ रहा कि उसके जमीन पे क्या क्रॉप उगाए, वो कुछ भी उगा रहा है। तो वो हमारे ऐप के थ्रू क्या कर सकता है, अगर वो अपने लैंड पे जाएगा और एक बटन क्लिक करेगा, कुछ यूआई था उसका, तो हम क्या कर रहे थे, उसका जो लोकेशन था, उसका जो कोऑर्डिनेट था, कुछ एपीआई थे। पहले तो क्लाइमेट उस लोकेशन का हम फेच कर पा रहे थे, एक पब्लिक एपीआई है। हाँ, अभी एक soilgrid.com करके वेबसाइट था जिसने एपीआई प्रोवाइड किया था कि वहाँ का सॉइल का कंडीशन वो रफली आपको बता देगा कि क्या फर्टिलिटी रहता है, क्या रहता है। तो उस लोकेशन का हम कुछ डेटा पॉइंट कलेक्ट कर पा रहे थे, उसका सॉइल का कंडीशन क्या है, लैंड का कंडीशन क्या है और क्लाइमेट क्या है। तो इस बेसिस पे वी कैन प्रेडिक्ट कि दिस आर द टॉप 10 क्रॉप्स दैट आर मोस्ट सुटेबल फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर एरिया। सो
नाइस।
दैट इज द मेन आइडिया, ऑल्दो हम लोग उसको पूरा कंप्लीट नहीं कर पाए, बट एक ये प्रोजेक्ट था जिसमें मैंने एंड्रॉयड का पार्ट किया था और बैकएंड का पार्ट मेरे दोस्त ने किया था। ये एक सॉलिड डेटा पॉइंट था हमारे मेरे सीवी के लिए। तो ये हो गया था। और एक सिंपल वो था कैब सिमुलेटर, जिससे ग्राफ एल्गोरिदम विजुअलाइजर टाइप, ये भी बहुत कॉमन प्रोजेक्ट था।
क्या था मतलब उसमें?
उसमें क्या था कि ग्रिड टाइप के बने हुए थे, ठीक है, मैट्रिक्स बना हुआ था, एक कार्ड था, एक डेस्टिनेशन था, और आप मैट्रिक्स पे ट्रैफिक लाइट वगैरह लगा सकते हो, ब्लॉकेज वगैरह। फिर आप अलग अलग ग्राफ के एल्गोरिदम सेलेक्ट कर सकते हो, डायक्स्ट्रा हो गया, बीएफएस हो गया, डीएफएस हो गया। फिर इट विल शो यू कि हाउ डायक्स्ट्रा वर्क्स, इट विल हैव सम एनिमेशन टू हाउ द राइट फ्रॉम द सोर्स टू द डेस्टिनेशन। So it's kind of, it will help you visualize some of the graph algorithms.
ये पब्लिश किया है क्या? इनमें से कोई सा भी पब्लिश किया है क्या प्ले स्टोर पे?
नॉट पब्लिश बिकॉज कुछ पैसे लगते थे, तो उस वक्त उतने पैसे ही लगता था भाई कि कुछ और में खर्चा हो जाए तो सही है। तो पब्लिश नहीं किया, बट ये बनाया था मैंने, गिटहब पे डाला हुआ था।
एक्चुअली ये वाला जो आपने बताया कि कैब सिमुलेटर टाइप, मैंने ये यूज़ किया है प्ले स्टोर पे भी, कुछ एप्लीकेशन थे, वहाँ पे क्या था कि डिफरेंट एल्गोरिदम्स थे ग्राफ के, तो उनको सिमुलेट दिखा रहे थे ऐसे, लाइक मैट्रिक्स में जैसे बताया। तो
ओके, मैंने इंस्पिरेशन लिया था, एक वेबसाइट था विजुअलाइजर या ऐसा कुछ नाम था उसका, वहां से मैंने इंस्पिरेशन लेके एंड्रॉइड ऐप बनाया था।
इंस्पिरेशन, राइट, इंस्पिरेशन इज द राइट वर्ड। तो यार तुम मेरे को ये बताओ कि सो नाउ यू हैव वर्कड फॉर हॉटस्टार, यू आर वर्किंग इन गूगल नाउ, राइट? तो हाउ डू यू स्टे मोटिवेटेड?
Okay, so I remember during the initial days of Hotstar, it was pretty difficult to grab things because it was my first time experience working in as a full-time employee. इतना बड़ा कोड बेस देखना, ये करना वो करना, तो it was very overwhelming at the start. You don't know the right direction. So you were my mentor in Hotstar, so you guided me. आफ्टर सर्टेन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, जब ऐसा लगता है कि हाँ भाई अब समझ आ रहा है कि ये फ्लो क्या है, कहाँ से कोड कहाँ जा रहा है, क्या एक्टिविटी कैसे खुल रही है, जो भी एंड्रॉयड का उस वक्त कोड था, तो आफ्टर सर्टेन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम जब काम में इंटरेस्ट आने लगता है, आई वुड से व्हेन यू स्टार्ट गेटिंग थिंग्स, माइंड में सब बनने लगता है, काम में इंटरेस्ट आने लगता है, तब इवेंचुअली यू डोंट नीड टू बी एक्सटर्नली मोटिवेटेड। तब आपको लगता है कि इट्स माई जॉब टू डू, लाइक it's not that if I'm not, I have no choice to not do this kind of thing. I have to do, right? So तो वो इंटरेस्ट जब से आने लगता है, then it becomes very easier. Also, I remember I was very very well appreciated by my manager, my tech lead in Hotstar.
Right.
Those appreciation definitely help you stay motivated when the things are not going the right way. But yes, so the appreciation that you get from your senior, and you have to gain interest in the thing that you do. If you have zero interest, then I don't think even if you are motivated, you will be able to do that. So you need to know the impact of your work so that you are interested in it, and
stay motivated, right? I mean that sums up that thing. So let's talk about Hotstar, right? We have talked about internship at Hotstar, but let's talk about the actual job, full-time job at Hotstar. So what was your typical day look like at Hotstar? I know it's work from home. I think Hotstar offers only remote job for engineers, right? So what was your typical day used to look like at Hotstar?
So typical day so there were two phases of my life when I worked at Hotstar. One when I was staying with my parents, and another one when I was staying alone in Kolkata because there were lots of my friends there. So when I was with my parents, it was very very monotonous, reason being I don't have to do any other household chores kind of thing. मतलब मैं उठता था 9:30-10 बजे, ठीक है, लैपटॉप उठाता था, 1 घंटे देखता था भाई क्या क्या काम है, नहीं करना है, कुछ कुछ जो काम पेंडिंग रह गया, पीआर जैसे रेस करनी हुई, वो सब कर दिया। फिर मैं नाश्ता वगैरह करता था, तो 1-2 बजे से फिर मैं वापस बैठता था, फिर हमारे स्टैंड अप होता था, फिर मैं काम जो भी काम है करते रहो, बीच में खाना खाओ, बीच में आराम कर लो, फोन चलाओ, so that work from home gives you a lot of flexibility. So it's not that your life revolves around office only. So when I joined Google, as like I have to go to office now. So I believe when you have to go to office, your life revolves around office. Like you wake up early in the morning so that you get to the cab on time, you get in the office on time, you work at office, you get out, then so it revolves around office. But at hostel, since it was work from home, like
Hmm.
everything was pretty inclusive. I was able to talk to my parents, I was able to talk to my friends, also I was able to work at the same time. It was very convenient, इज व्हाट आई बिलीव. तो उसके बाद मैं सुबह से लेके काम किया, 5 6 7 बजे तक काम किया.
Hmm.
लास्ट एक देख लिया भाई. किसी दिन लंबा खींचा जाता था जब वर्ल्ड कप चल रहा होता था तब मे बी.
On
बट
call.
वैसे टाइट हाँ ऑन कोर्स टाइट गाइडलाइंस नहीं है, तो 6 7 बजे तक मैंने काम किया, 11 से 7 ऐसा काम किया.
Hmm.
फिर आई यूज्ड टू गो आउट फॉर अ इवनिंग वॉक and talk to some of my friends. Then I used to come back home, talk to my parents, then wish them good night, and then sleep after you scrolling some of the reels on my device. That's it.
Right.
Very convenient, like everything was sorted kind of thing.
Okay. So मेरा next question actually यही था कि you like work from home setup more or work from office? What do you say?
So for convenience, I think, or to be in a very 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 comfort zone, work from home stands apart.
Hmm.
But I think once you start visiting office, you interact more with the people, and it's not only about work. You
Hmm.
talk more things related what's going on in your life. So networking के मामले में, या फिर I think जो बाकी aspects of life हैं,
Hmm.
for a fresher like me who has just graduated from the engineering college, उसके लिए I think work from office will be better for in long term, because उसको बहुत कुछ और भी सीखने को मिलेगा apart from the job.
Right.
For the people who have gained experience working in office, उनके लिए I think they convenience matters most, personal time matters most, family time matters most, so उनके लिए work from home is better. So for me, I think, or for the people who are of my age, who are about to graduate or have graduated recently, I think work from office should be the right choice.
Right. So if you want to look, if you want to grow in your career as a software engineer in the starting of your career, I think work from home office is pretty good, right? Because you will have networking there. You will get to know how people work at office. Because तुम कॉलेज से बाहर निकलते हो, you don't know कि क्या work culture होता है, right? कुछ भी नहीं पता होता.
Yes.
So starting engineers के लिए in the initial 4 to 5 years, work from office is it should be a must, but it's fine. I think today
Yes.
office want to save costs, right? So I think that's why.
Yeah,
So
work from like सबसे बड़ा advantage ये भी है कि you save a lot of money. So that depends on person to person what
right,
your priorities are.
right, exactly. So tell me, at Hotstar, at what technologies you used to work in? First of all, tell me in what team you were working for. Then tell me the technologies.
Yeah, so in Hotstar, when I joined as a full-time employee, I was a part of ad tech team. So the job of the team was to, it was mostly focused on the client part. So the job of our team was to build a framework, basically display the ads to the user, because advertisement was the primary source of income for the Hotstar app. So to build and display ads to the user, that was the main job of our client team. And the development was primarily focused on Android, iOS, and web. These were the three major clients that we used to build for. And I was a part of Android team, so I used to work in tech stacks such as Kotlin, Java, mostly Kotlin. There were some older code written in Java also. So those were the two main tech stacks that I worked for Android development.
You also worked in backend, right?
Yes. So eventually I got an opportunity to work in the backend part. So the service was very, very tightly coupled with the front end thing, which is why our team got the opportunity to own that. So there I worked on mostly on Golang, and graph query language is also one of the things. I could not deep dive into it, but GQL and Golang were the tech stack that I worked in Hotstar.
You joined as SD1, right, at Hotstar, and you started with Android development for I think for over 6 to 8 months, right? I guess.
Yeah.
Suddenly, your context switched directly to backend and to a new technology, Golang. So how did you switch this context? I mean, what were the challenges?
Okay, so I still believe most of the things are pretty similar, because for an SD1, you have to write a function that makes a call to this function, that makes a call to that function. So eventually, it does not really matter whether that code is being executed in the client or in a server. It's a code at then. So
Right.
it was not very difficult from that angle. But learning Golang was little bit difficult. But since we have lots of AI tools with us, like ChatGPT, that definitely help in way to get the syntax right. If you have the logic in mind, you don't find it very troublesome to write that in code
Hmm.
in in this era. So the overall thing were clear. The major new things that came while working on backend that was not there in front end was the deployment and monitoring of the servers,
Hmm.
because that was not in our control when we work in the front end domain. So I learned about this. I went through multiple document that was internal document that Hotstar had. I went through some of the major system design topics, such as like what is distributed system, what are the replicas, and also the basic backend thing that we must know. So those were some of the things that I went through, couple of documents and couple of topics on the internet. Then eventually the code that I had to write was simply not very different from what I was used to. So
So
it's
when
not very difficult.
so when you say learning, so what is your go-to place for learning? Is it ChatGPT? Is it YouTube or some courses? What? Where do you
I
go?
don't really have much experience of learning via courses. So I prefer reading over watching, because I think reading gives you your own space, own pace, the speed at which you want to learn.
Hmm.
So you can reread it, you can skip some part, you can read it very fast. It depends on you. So I used to, for example, if I want to learn Go, so I will go and search on Google Go basics, basics of Go and something like this, and I will go through a couple of articles in an hour or so. Then I will eventually, while working, if I find something that I'm not aware of, I used Chat GPT at that time to understand more of it,
Right.
and I pretty much use ChatGPT as a personal assistant. That really helped while I was in hostel.
Hmm. Right. Nice.
Yeah.
So so you are saying reading over watching videos, or let's say use ChatGPT. So, but at Hotstar, when the context is switching so fast and you have so much to do, so isn't reading a bit slow than watching videos? What do you say?
Yep, you can say that. So that depends. So, for example, what I meant from watching videos is basically watching courses. And if you want to watch an end-to-end course, that's very time taking. But if you find a video of 10 minutes length that is very relevant to what you were searching for,
Hmm.
then it's easier. I know. So it depends on the topic also. It is very difficult to watch a uh, playlist of entire Go syntax. That will take a lot of time in comparison to just reading through an article and understanding how the for loop works.
Right.
So
Right.
so if it is very conceptual thing, then I think watching video is more convenient. But
Hmm.
if I personally prefer reading, so I will just go through some articles and
Okay. So, in summary, you had a fun journey at Hotstar, right? So one question is, what could be better when you were in Hotstar for you, for others? What do you say?
so most of the things were quite good. Like I had great colleagues, I had great time there. It was work from home, so I traveled a lot of places as well.
Let's talk about what was not better.
Yeah, so this is just I'm helping me out so that I can talk about
Yeah,
those things.
yeah, sure. Take your time.
The thing that we're not better, first of all, is I think it's not the top-notch salary. To be very frank, in
Hmm.
the current market, there are many companies paying more than Hotstar
Hmm.
for the same level.
Hmm.
Second thing is I did not like when I was in Hotstar was the lack of transparency. I feel, because I remember that there were lots of ambiguity around Geo purchasing Hotstar back in I think 2023 only.
Hmm.
But I was completely unaware of the fact that whether it is true or not. But eventually, I first saw a media article that okay, so the deal has been finalized. Then I got to know that okay, it is
Yeah.
actually finalized internally also. So I believe that a little more transparency could have been a little better for the employees working there.
Anything else?
So mostly these two things I can think of.
Hmm.
So a little bit of more clarity could have been better,
Hmm.
and uh, also one thing, that the salary that they gave to the fresher, it's quite steady for last 3 years. So even if they have visited for 2024 batch also, so they gave the same salary. But if you see in MNC, there's a little bit of increase every year, every 2 year at least. So this is something that I expected from Hotstar, but I could not see that.
Nice. So now we're talking about the salary, and this is the last question about the journey at Hotstar. How much an SD1 engineer at Hotstar can approximately make?
Yeah, okay. So there are 2 points. There's one point to it. So first of all, the offer that was offered to the on-campus guys
Hmm.
were little more than the person who were hired laterally as a direct SD1.
Hmm.
So because I talked to some of the people who were SD1 when I was about to join Hotstar as an SD1, so
Hmm.
they were hired by off-campus drive. So they were offered little lesser than what we got. So
Hmm.
from what we got, so if you include everything like what we have in our components such as base, bonus, and stocks.
I don't want the exact numbers. I just want the range.
So if you like add everything, it will come somewhere between 25 to 30
Okay. Nice.
like per annum.
For an SD1.
For an HD1, inclusive of everything, I
Everything.
mean, even the stocks, if you
Mhm.
add even the stocks and everything, then it comes between this
Okay.
25 to 30.
I think for most of the people, I mean it's subjective and objective both at the same time. Let's
Huh.
move to the next section. Your journey at Google. So tell me more about it. How did you join?
Okay, so you want to know more about how I got the opportunity of Google?
Sure. Please start from there.
Okay, so I remember I was in Bangalore. I was hanging out with some of my friends.
Hmm.
So I eventually got a call from an HR of Google.
Hmm.
So she mentioned that. So I knew that okay, now I'll have to interview. So I took I think couple of weeks of time to
Sorry,
prepare the
what's the HR name, if you can tell?
HR name. I something Pooja, but I don't. Let's beep it out because I'm not sure if we can reveal it out.
Okay, sure.
No, I am not aware of this. So
Okay.
okay. So I got a call from her that you applied for this and that.
Hmm.
So yeah, I said okay. So she asked if I need some time. I asked for two. She insisted to take 2 weeks of time to prepare and solve. She said that solve at least 100 problem during this time frame and all. So that was a very good conversation.
Hmm.
So after that, I was in Bangalore. I had planned to be in Bangalore for next couple of weeks, but I booked a flight ticket next day to my home so that I can prepare because I did not wanted to miss this opportunity.
Hmm.
I remember when we were in college, someone in Google, we used to look upon the people who were working at Google. It's not the same anymore for me, but at that point of time, it was something that was very inspiring for many
Why?
people
Why it's not same anymore?
because I think once you achieve something, it becomes normal. Like it's not the same thing that it used to be.
You think it's not a hard thing to achieve, right? Like that?
Hmm. It's not a hard thing.
Okay. Continue, please.
So कॉलेज टाइम में बहुत ज़्यादा था तो मैं सोचा कि भाई इफ आई एम गेटिंग एन अपॉर्चुनिटी सो आई शुड एटलीस्ट ट्राई
Right.
तो स्टार्टिंग से आई थॉट कि अच्छा नहीं होगा पता नहीं मतलब ऐसा माई होल माइंड सेट वाज लाइक नहीं होगा बट लेट्स गिव इट अ ट्राई
Hmm.
because I remember that was my 12th application to Google. I have applied 11 times before also when I was in college. I used to apply for everything.
Hmm.
Although if it was irrelevant, I used to apply for staff engineer, everything. So it was my 12th 12th application. So I thought let's give it a try. I revised some of my lead code concepts, the DSA concepts and all.
Hmm.
I went through some of the lead code discussions, the interview experiences and all. Then there were total 4 DSA rounds
Hmm.
and one HR kind of round. They call it Googliness.
Hmm.
So it's similar to HR round, and one is team match round.
Hmm.
So uh, total there were 6 rounds. 4 of them were DSA, one
Hmm.
HR, and one team fitment. So the entire process took around 3 months of time, 3 to 4 months of time.
Hmm.
So yeah, like after each interview, the hope was increasing day by day because
For
आई
sure.
यूज्ड टू हाँ, तो मैं मेरे को लगता था भाई एक इंटरव्यू पे फोकस करते हैं क्योंकि अगर स्टार्टिंग से ही सोचेंगे भाई चारों में अच्छा नहीं होगा
Right.
बिकॉज़ द बार इज़ क्वाइट हाई इफ यू मिस अ पॉइंट इट्स हाई प्रोबेबिलिटी दैट यू मे नॉट गोना मेक इट आउट तो आई यूज्ड टू फोकस ऑन वन इंटरव्यू एट अ टाइम एंड इवेंचुअली आई वाज एबल टू go through everyone
Hmm.
each one of them.
So, do you think luck plays any role?
Definitely plays a role because in a 45-minute time frame, you have been given a hard problem or maybe a DSA problem, and it's not uh, like you may be very strong at DSA, but it could be sometimes that click does not happen in your brain, like
Right.
that particular algorithm does not click. So it
Okay.
definitely plays a big role, but the more you practice, the lesser the role the luck plays, I believe.
So you're
So
saying, okay, if you work hard, the luck will do its part, right?
luck will do its part. Yeah.
Okay, nice. So now you're in Google. So what does your typical day look like now? You go to office every day.
Yes, so it's a hybrid kind of thing, but I prefer to be in office because. So I will tell you from the start. So I wake up again. The waking time is still the same, around 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So I wake up around 9 a.m. Then I have scheduled Google Cab for around 10:30 a.m.
Hmm.
So Google Cab arrives at my doorstep at 10:30. I come to office by 11 a.m.
Hmm.
Then after an hour or so, the whole team sits together.
Hmm.
We go to lunch at around 1 p.m. All the members of the team go together and have a nice lunch and conversation after the lunch.
Hmm.
So after coming back from lunch, we work, and before going out of office, we play games like table tennis. We have lots of games here available. So that's a pretty nice part of Google, that people are very friendly. So we play games with each other. We play TT. You grow in every aspect, I believe.
Hmm.
So and also the lunch, the snacks that you get, the coffees, the micro kitchen. There are lots of things that will make you feel that you are being valued as an employee. So
Right.
you have lots of great benefits. So I've been to, like, I'm not exaggerating, but I've been to some of the 5-star or 4-star hotels, but I still believe that foods that are being provided here are far much more better than what I have had there.
Nice.
So this kind of benefits really helps for bachelor. सबसे बड़ा अगर बीटी लाइफ में यही होता है, इफ यू मूविंग टू अ न्यू सिटी, कि भाई खाने का क्या करोगे, मम्मी को टेंशन यही रहता है क्या खाया नहीं खाया.
Right.
So it's very sorted. So although you are not required to be in office every day, but most of the people go to office to have this kind of benefits.
Okay.
Then I go back home by around, after having dinner also, around 8 p.m. I am at my PG room or flat room, whatever. Then yeah, I then talk to my family, talk to friends,
Hmm.
do watch some web series and all. Then I sleep. It's very
Nice.
simple but good enough.
So right now at Google, what is your tech stack?
Tech stack. So I'm a full stack engineer here, but it's more about backend and front end.
Hmm.
So every tech. So the team owns more than, I think, 10 products. Every product has has its own tech stack. Some use Java, some uses Golang. So
Hmm.
mostly, if you want to summarize it, it's about Java, Go, Python also, Kotlin also. Kotlin is also used in backend development, that I got to know about this after coming here only. So
Hmm.
Java, Kotlin, Go, these are the three main things for backend that we use, and for the front end, it's more about generic Angular and all. So I've
So
not worked on front end yet.
what is your current position at Google?
It's L3. So in Google we call it a software engineer 2,
Hmm.
but in the outside world it is equivalent to an HD1 only.
Okay.
Because in order to be an HD2 here, you need to have at least 2.5 years of experience. But at the time of interviewing, I had only 1.5.
Hmm.
So I applied for HD1. So it's HD1 only, but here we call it software engineer 2.
So have you started working on some projects?
Not yet, I'm still learning. So there are lots of internal tools, internal tech stack. So it's completely a different heaven of infrastructure here.
Hmm.
So everything, most of the things are automated. So it's a complete different
What?
world, very different world from what I have seen before.
Hmm.
So I'm still learning to the things like those, and I'm still learning to the products that my team owns. So I'm expected to work maybe after some day, but I'm still in the learning phase.
Hmm. Nice.
Uh, yeah.
So the last question about your journey at Google. I mean, so as an SD1, how much can someone expect as a salary?
Okay.
Like,
So for an SD1,
yeah.
I can tell you the lower limit. So I don't know the lower limit, but what I've heard, what I've read is it's between 40 to 50 LPM.
For 50
Thing. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I think that's all about journey to Google. Now let's move to the next section, that is advice for peers. So, what is the one thing you can say to your peers, let's say, who are listening to the podcast and they are college students, so that they can move just like you at bigger companies like Hotstar and Google?
Mhm. So for college student, I would say don't be involved in the discussions like DSA versus development. These
Hmm.
things are going on in the social media a lot of the time. So don't waste your time there. Give what I personally prefer is give 70% of time to DSA and 30% to development while you are in college. Because
Hmm.
after getting out of college, anyways, you are going to be working on your development only. So
Right.
while you're in college, work on DSA. Some are naturally gifted, some are not. So I believe I may not be the naturally gifted one. So I have solved more than 1400 lead code problem. This is not I'm advising to anyone,
Hmm.
but that has definitely helped me gain confidence in DSA,
Hmm.
or the skills of DSA that I've gained is what I believe by grinding lead code. It's
Hmm.
not the culture that I want to promote or anything that I want to promote, but that's what I chose in the lockdown days. I used to do lead code day and night. So if you think that it's not coming out, don't give up. Just try putting more and more efforts, try solving more and more questions. Eventually you'll get there where you will feel that you are ready for the interviews, and just try your luck out. You will eventually get it.
So the next question is for you. What's one thing you wish you had known earlier in your career?
So one thing I got an advice from Abhishek, who is our colleague in Hotstar. He's a senior architect in
Which-
Hotstar. Abhishek Bansal. He
Hmm.
told me that just give 2 to 3 hours per week,
Hmm.
if not per day. For so he meant that कुछ भी दो, but give some time for your personal skill development.
Hmm.
For example, give some time in learning things apart from the work that you do.
Hmm.
So eventually, if you are giving 3 hours to yourself per week, eventually it piles up, and you are far ahead of the person who has not given any time yet. So
Hmm.
eventually it piles in, and it adds a lot of value to your life or to your skills. So that I've missed in the first year of my career. I used to just work and then relax and chill, but I should have given more time to my personal development as well, personal skill development.
Hmm.
It could be very less, like 2 3 hours per week, as mentioned by Abhishek. So yeah, so that it really hit me, and I have started
That's a
trying
nice.
to.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
that's the main thing.
So this question is about the industry. If you could debunk one myth about the industry, what would it be?
Debunk one myth. So I'm pretty new to the industry, I feel, because I have lesser than 2 years of experience. So
Right.
I'm no one to tell about
So
the industry.
let me modify this question. Let's say there are some college students. They must be thinking that at software companies, at Google or Hotstar, you have to do something like this. But when you came to Hotstar or Google, but it's not that. But you have imagined at your college, right? So what?
Mhm. Okay, so in simpler terms, cracking this big tech giants is not hard. It's just a matter of how you have practiced. So,
Hmm.
so if you talk to an IIT, and so I have many colleagues of mine here who are from IIT, BHU, CSE, IIT Kanpur, CSE. It's a top branch who have achieved good ranks in J Advanced. So they are also like us only. So it's just that they have given more time at the right point of time to the
Hmm.
right thing. So it's just that if you are giving more time to the right thing at your time, at your matlab, right, give more right time to the right thing.
Hmm.
So that's the only thing. If you are putting more efforts, you will get it. It's a very simple logic. If you are not giving time to your development, you won't get it, and you will think it's very difficult. But if you give some time, definitely you will come here, because very many people are here. It's not that everyone is gifted or something. Not everyone is very lucky. So they have given time, and eventually they are here. So yeah,
Right.
just work
Yeah.
on your
That's a
skills.
nice. That's a nice advice, I think, because most of the college students, like I was also when I was in college, we used to treat people at big top product companies like, oh, they have cracked something really good. I mean, it's good, but we used to think it takes I mean, some magical things to make that happen. But I think it's all hard work and luck, right?
Definitely. The only difference between me and someone who is aspiring to work at Google is that I have given more time in DSA and development skills.
Hmm.
As I mentioned, during the lockdown, I have given more time. So if you also give more time, you will definitely reach here, or maybe even better than here, anything that you want.
Right,
It's
right,
just a matter of time you have put in.
right.
Like simple logic.
I think this was really a good podcast. I think it will really help the college students.